if I told you the next billion-dollar idea isn't waiting in a high-rise office or Silicon Valley think tank, but in someone's cluttered garage right now? And what if I said it could even be yours? It's easy to believe that success only comes after you have the connections, the funding, or the perfect timing. But that's not true. Some of the biggest brands in the world started with borrowed space, low expectations, and just enough faith to take the first step. And here's the real kicker. If you don't understand what actually birthed these companies, you'll keep waiting for your perfect setup while others are building empires from what they have today. In this video, we're unpacking the top 10 billion-dollar companies that literally started in garages. It's more than a list. It's a perspective shift. We'll talk strategy, hustle, and yeah, moments of quiet belief behind the scenes. Because while I'm not here to preach, I do believe we serve a God who honors effort, stewardship, and vision, even when it starts small. Stay with me till the end, because I'm going to share the one factor nearly every founder had in common, something that's often overlooked but might just change how you see your own journey. Now, I'm not here speaking as someone who's already made it, but I've been in enough boardrooms, basement offices, and broken seasons to know this. You don't need everything to be ready. You just need the courage to start. And that's what these stories prove. Before we jump into the list, let's zoom out. Why are garage startups so iconic? Because they break the illusion. They show us that ideas don't need luxury to be legendary. From the outside, it looked like nothing, just a dusty space, a couple people with laptops or tools, and way too much caffeine. But in the background, vision was brewing. And in some cases, divine timing was involved. There's even a pattern in scripture that reflects this. God doesn't wait for the palace to call people into purpose. Moses was called from the wilderness. David was anointed in a field. Joseph started in a pit before he ever made it to Pharaoh's palace. And while I'm not saying these founders were all faith-driven, the principle still resonates. Big things often begin in small, hidden places. All right, let's get into it. Here are 10 billion-dollar companies that started in garages and the lessons you can steal from them. 1. Apple Inc. In 1976, Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne started Apple in a garage in Cupertino, California. Their first product, the Apple I, was a modest beginning. However, by 1997, Apple was on the brink of bankruptcy. The return of Steve Jobs marked a turning point. With innovative products like the iMac, iPod, and iPhone, Apple transformed into a tech giant. This journey reminds us that setbacks can set the stage for comebacks. 2. Amazon. Jeff Bezos founded Amazon in 1994 in his Bellevue garage, initially as an online bookstore. Despite early challenges, including a nearly 70% chance of failure, Bezos persisted. The launch of Amazon Web Services in 2002 was a game changer, propelling Amazon into diverse markets. Bezos' story teaches us the power of vision and adaptability. 3. Google. Larry Page and Sergey Brin started Google in a rented garage in Menlo Park in 1998. Facing stiff competition from established search engines, their innovative PageRank algorithms set them apart. A pivotal moment came with a $100,000 investment from Andy Bechtolsheim, providing the boost they needed. Google's rise underscores the importance of innovation and seizing opportunity. 4. Disney. Walt and Roy Disney began their animation studio in their uncle's garage in 1923. Early financial struggles nearly ended their dream. The success of Steamboat Willie in 1928, introducing Mickey Mouse, changed everything. Disney's journey illustrates how creativity and resilience can overcome adversity. 5. Hewlett Packard. HP. In 1939, Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard started HP in a Palo Alto garage, which is $538. Their first product, an audio oscillator, caught the attention of Walt Disney, who ordered 8 for the film Fantasia. This breakthrough highlighted the impact of quality and networking. HP's story is a testament to starting small and thinking big. 6. Microsoft. Bill Gates and Paul Allen founded Microsoft in 1975 in a small Albuquerque garage. Their big break came when IBM chose Microsoft's operating system for its PC. Despite early challenges, their commitment to software innovation led Microsoft to become a global leader. Their journey emphasizes the value of persistence and strategic partnership. 7. Dell. Michael Dell started building computers in his University of Texas dorm room in 1984. He faced skepticism and financial hurdles. By focusing on direct consumer sales and customization, Dell revolutionized the PC market. His story shows how challenging the status quo can lead to success. 8. Harley Davidson. In 1903, William S. Harley and Arthur Davidson built their first motorcycle in a Milwaukee shed. Facing competition and economic downturns, they persevered. Their breakthrough came with a contract to supply motorcycles to the U.S. military during World War I. Harley Davidson's legacy teaches us about endurance and brand loyalty. 9. Mattel. Ruth and Elliot Handler, along with Harold Matson, started Mattel in a garage in 1945. Early on, they faced financial difficulties. The launch of the Barbie doll in 1959 became a cultural phenomenon, propelling Mattel to new heights. Their story highlights the impact of innovation and understanding consumer desires. 10. Yankee Candle. At 16, Michael Kittredge made a homemade candle in his garage as a gift for his mother in 1969. After a neighbor showed interest, he began selling candles locally. Despite initial challenges, Yankee Candle grew into a leading brand. Kittredge's journey underscores the potential of turning passion into a thriving business. So, what do all these stories have in common? They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait until it made sense. And while they may not all have spoken about it publicly, you can feel a quiet current of conviction in their actions. That I have to do this kind of drive that often comes from something bigger than ambition. Call it faith, call it calling, but it's there. Here's a practical truth. You don't need a garage. You just need a space where your vision can breathe. Whether that's your living room, your notes app, or a voice memo at 2 a.m., your job is to start. And maybe you believe the myth that faith and business don't mix. But they do, not in a preachy, every decision needs a sermon kind of way, but in the steady, intentional way that honors the gifts you've been given and uses them well. That's stewardship. And the word says, do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Zechariah 4 verse 10. Now let's talk about what happens when you start. When you give your effort consistently, momentum builds. You attract clarity, you find your people. And even if it doesn't scale to $1 billion, it can still make a lasting impact. And that might just be the bigger win. Quick myth buster here. You don't have to have a crazy idea to succeed. You just need to solve a problem and stay faithful to the process. Culture will push you to go fast, but wisdom builds patiently. So here's the part one said I'd share if you stuck with me. Every one of these founders made a quiet decision before the world knew their name. They decided to build anyway, before recognition, before validation, before certainty. And that, more than the idea, is what changed their lives. You might not be in a garage, but if you're in a waiting season or a building season, this is your moment to start small and stay steady. Let's wrap this up. Today, we covered $10 billion companies born in garages, proof that the smallest spaces can birth the biggest shifts. We learned that faith doesn't have to be loud to be present. That stewardship shows up in the way we manage our ideas, and that your beginning doesn't disqualify your destination. Here's your encouragement. Start with what you have, where you are. Don't rush. Don't fake it. Just be faithful with what's in your hands and watch what God does with that. Commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established. Proverbs 16 verse 3. If that encouraged you or gave you something to think about, make sure you hit that like button and drop a comment. I'd love to know which story resonated most with you. And if you want more insights like this, quietly faith-infused, wisdom-focused, and always grounded, stick around. I've got more content coming that's right up your alley. You're not just watching videos. You're building a mindset that aligns with growth, peace, and purpose.